I can smell from here. Nice. All right. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunya Bihare Gopi Nana Madhava Girivardhare Gopi Nana Madhava Girivardhare It's okay. Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachare Yamuna Tera Vanachare Jayarandhu Madhuva Kunya Bihare Joy Radha Madhuva Kunya Bihare Gopi Jana Padava Girivardhare Gopi Jana Bala Ma Girivardhare Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yasodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tera Vanachare Yamuna Tera Vanachare Jayo Radho Madhova Kunya Bihahure Jayo Radho Madhova Kunya Bihahure Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paramacharya Alsuteta Satashi Shimad His Divine Grace Abhaya Chananana Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Shridharidas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shidwaita Garadha Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radhakrishna Gopi Gopinath Shaima Kunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavanam Ki Jai Ujaradam Ki Jai Jagannath Swami Ki Jai Munamai Ki Jai Shrimati Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Samvrita Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Gaur Premananda Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ma Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pachani Nivishesha Shinivadi Paschatchateya Shatani. So we are reading from the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 47th chapter, text 15. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Divi Bhuve Cha Rasayam Ka Striyas Tad Durapa Kapata Ruchira Hasa Muru Vishrimbasha Ya Syu Charana Raja Upaste Yasha Bhutir Vayam Ka Api Cha Kripana Vakshe He Uttama Shloka Shabda Divi Bhuvi Chorasayam Ka Shriyasta Durapa Bhuvi Chorasayam Ka Shriyasta Durapa Kapata Ruchira Hasabru Vidrimbasha Yasyu Chalana Ratsha Upaste Yasya Bhutir Vayamka Apicha Kripana Pakshe Utama Shloka Shabda Divi Bhuvi Chorasayam Ka Sriyastadurapa Kapata Ruchirahasa Bru Vijrimbasha Yasyu Charanara sa upaste yasya bhutir vayamka. Apicha kripana pakshe yutama shloka shabda. Divi bhuvi chorasayam ka sriyasta durapa. Kapatta ruchirahasa bru vijrimbasya yasyu. Charanaraja rupaste yasya bhutir vayamka. Apicha kripana pakshe yutama shloka shabda. Anyone want to try? Vibhuve churasayam kasriyasta durapa. Kapatta ruchirakasa bru vijrimbasya yasyu. Charanaraja upaste yasya bhutir vayamka. Abhi chakripana pakshe yutama shloka shabda. Sri bhuvi charasayam ka sriyasta durapa. Kapatta ruchirahasa bru vijrimbasya yasyu. Charanaraja paste yasya bhutir vayamka. Apicha kripana pakshe yutama shloka shabda. Divi bhuvi charasayam ka sriyasta durapa. Kapatta ruchirahasa pru vijrimbasya yasyu. Charanaraja upaste yasya bhutir vayamka. Apicha kripana pakshe yutama shloka shabda. Divi bhuvi charasayam kasriyasta durapa. Kapata ruchirahasu bru vijrimbasya yasyu. Charanaraja upaste yasya bhutir vayamka. Apicha kripana pakshe yutama shloka shabda. Divi bhuve charasayam kasriyasta durapa. Kapatta ruchirahasa bru vijrimbasya yasyu. Charana Raja Upaste Yasya Bhutir Vayamka. Api Chakaripanapakshe Utamashloka Shabda. Okay. Synonyms. Divi, in the heavenly region. Bhuvi, on the earth. Cha, and. Rasayam, in the subterranean sphere. Ka, what? Striya, women. Tat, by him. Durapa, unobtainable. Kapata, deceptive. Ruchira, charming. Hasa, with smiles. Buru, of whose eyebrows. Vidrimbasha, the arching. Ya, who? Su, become. Chalana, of the feet. Rajak, the dust. Upaste, worships. Yasya, whose. Bhuti, the goddess of fortune, wife of Lord Narayana. Vayam, we. Ka, who. Apicha, nevertheless. Kripana pakshe, for those who are wretched. He, indeed. Uttama shloka, the Supreme Lord, who is glorified by the most sublime prayers. Shabda, the name. So translation. In heaven, on earth, or in the subterranean sphere, what women are unavailable to him? He simply arches his eyebrows and smiles with deceptive charm, and they all become his. The Supreme Goddess herself worships the dust of his feet. So what is our position in comparison? But at least those who are wretched can chant his name. Uttama Shloka. So you can repeat. In heaven, on earth, or in the subterranean sphere, what women are unavailable to him? He simply arches his eyebrows and smiles with deceptive charm, and they all become his. The Supreme Goddess herself worships the dust of his feet. So what is our position in comparison? But at least those who are wretched can chant his name Uttama Shloka. So purport by the followers of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur states that Radharani's speech, expressing all the feelings of a disappointed lover, indicates an intensity of love for Sri Krishna surpassing even that of the goddess of fortune. While all the gopis are perfectly compatible with Sri Krishna in terms of their beauty, temperament, and so on, Srimati Radharani is especially so. In her forlorn state, Radharani indicates to Krishna, you are called Uttama Shloka, because you are merciful to the wretched and fallen. But if you would be merciful to me, then you would exactly deserve this exalted name. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur further points out that in this verse, Srimati Radharani expresses her spite born of pride, accuses Krishna of being a cheater, and finds fault with his behavior. Thus this verse contains speech known as Ujalpa as described in the following verse of the Ujjala Nilamani 14:188. Hare Kuha Kathakyanam Garva Garbita Yesh Yaya Sasu Yash Chatad Akshepo Dirar Ujalpa Iriate. The declaration of Lord Hari's duplicitous nature in a mood of spite born of pride, together with jealousies spoken insults directed against him, has been termed Ujalpa by the wise. So again, we'll read the verse, because there's long commentaries by the acharyas here. Divi bhuvecha rasayam kashriyasta durapa kapatta rukchiraha sabru vidrimbashayasyu jananna raja upasteyasya bhuktirvayam ka apicha kripana pakshe yutama shloka shabdaha. So, Om Gana Timiranda Shah, Gananjana Shlakya, Chakshur and Mriditam, Yena Tasmai, Shri Gurave Namaha, Prabhupada Ki Jai. So I'm going to read Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. And then, after that, we have something really special to read that I discovered. Hearing the bee buzzing, Radha thought he was saying, crown jewel of the dearmost of Krishna. In Mathura, Krishna is meditating on you day and night, pierced by the arrow of love. If you are pleased, then he is delivered from his pain. Radha then speaks with envy. Who is difficult for Krishna to attain in Swarga, that's the heavenly planets, Marcha, which is where we are, Marcha Loka, and Patala, lower regions. The meaning is, I know very well that Krishna cannot pass his time without the presence of young women. If there are no women in Mathura, then let him meditate on us, satisfy us, and send a messenger such as you to bring us there. Do not tell us that the Kshatriya women will not accept a person of coward birth, for there is no one unavailable to him in all the three worlds. If he goes to Swarga, there are divine women. If he goes to Rasatala, there are the wives of the Nagas, the snakes. Not just snakes. I mean, they can change their form at will. They all give up their husbands for him. What to speak then of the women of Mathura? For obtaining women, he does not have to depend on punya, pious activities. Most of you, if you want to attain a nice wife or good husband, you better perform a lot of punya. Like Adi performed a lot of punya. So, being deceptive with his dancing eyelashes and charming smile, who can resist him? They no longer belong to their husbands. For the price of his deceptive smile, they have been purchased, giving up their husbands. He is deceptive because, though attaining them, once he enjoys them, he gives them up and goes after new women. What to speak of the heavenly women, even Lakshmi, situated on the chest of Narayan, serves Krishna's lotus feet in order to get his association. And we can refer to the prayers of Kaliya's wives in this regard. We have heard that from the mouth of Purnamasi. Therefore, how can we remain unaffected? We are only humans, moreover, simple coward women, moreover, coward women of Vrindavan. These humble words reveal jealousy latent with pride through the inflection of her voice and nodding of her head. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is actually getting some insight, even though, this is realization. Even though it's not described the inflection of her voice, he's actually hearing it, and her nodding of the head, like that. We know him, like that. Through that jealousy, she reveals thoughts of her superiority to Lakshmi in prema, beauty, similarity of caste. His is supposed to favor the miserable. He was fallen to the suffering, and fallen is called Uttama Shloka. But as Krishna lacks this quality, that name is a lie. In other words, he's not Uttama Shloka. Another abusive implication is, if he did not make miserable people like us suffer in the first place, then how could he get that name? In other words, he's described by exalted verses because he makes people like us suffer. The first half of the verse describing Krishna's attraction to all women shows his trickery. The third line indicates jealousy, irsha, filled with pride, garva. The last line shows abuse, apeksha, mixed with indignation, asuya. This is called ujalpa. Abusive, indignant speech, which reveals Krishna's trickery with jealousy, filled with pride, is called ujalpa. So, there's commentaries of the other charyas, which I may get to. But first, I wanted to reveal something that I was thinking of several things when I heard this particular verse. One thing I was thinking of is that, all the women in the creation, they see Krishna's smile, his glance, and everything like that, and they just give up their husbands. And then I was thinking, all of us, because I don't have a husband, but actually Krishna is pati, everyone's husband. When we see the deities and hear the holy name, we remain attached to things in this world. And those attachments, the things that we're attached to, are not as strong as the gopis' attachments to their husbands. Because the gopis' attachments to their husbands is based on dharma. It's based on culture. And what are our attachments? Our attachments, are our car, or our hair, ladies. Or, just think of all of our attachments, or the food we're going to eat. They're minuscule insignificant, compared to the gopis' attachments, for the dharmic attachments in this world. It's hard for us to understand, because we're all ABCDs, that, what dharma means in that culture. For us, dharma basically means doing what we want. Our dharma is, if it feels good, it's good for you, right? That's American dharma. So that's why people come from India and they have their children, they can't understand how their children are interacting because they have absolutely no sense of dharma. Like Krishna says in the Gita, he even gives an indication of dharma. He says austerities of the body are, offering respects to one's mother and father and spiritual master and everything like that. So anyway, so the gopis gave up something that was so difficult, and we can't even give up little things, right? So the question is, are we, two questions. Are we actually seeing Krishna? And the other question is, if we are seeing Krishna, what's wrong with us? Of course, the Bhagavatam describes that when we chant the holy names, if we don't feel ecstasy and tears coming from the eyes, our hearts are certainly steel-framed. So we are seeing Krishna. I can tell you that because, Namat Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddha Nityamukto Bina Dwam Namanamino. That Krishna is not different from his name. He's there. We've gotten the name from the pure devotees, to the Prabhupada. So we are coming in contact with Krishna. The deities, Shakshad, Rajendra, Nandana. Directly Krishna. We are seeing Krishna every day. And, we have so many pictures. Just like my house, I have so many pictures of Krishna, Radha and Krishna and everything like that. Yet I'm simply thinking, what am I going to eat? Isn't it? Simply thinking what to do about my health, what to eat, how to have fun playing the guitar. So many things like that. Without, it's just my mind's not directed. So therefore, we can understand that, as we were talking about on Sunday, Karanam Gunasangasha Sadasat Janmajonishu, that Krishna is there, just like the sun is there if it's cloudy out, and well, what? The sun is, we are covered by the clouds. The sun is still there. It's not that the sun isn't there. So we are covered by Avritam Ganametena Gani no Nichavarina Kama Rupena Kuntia. This lust and the association in this world. That's why giving up bad association. When Lord Chaitanya was asked about the first quality of a Vaishnava, he says what? A satsanga chag, a Vaishnava char. So, that's really our position. We're having so much bad association with our desires, not just bad association with other people or with the music or with the, karmi food and stuff like that. Karmi food, that's interesting. Food that's cooked by people who have not yet realized their Krishna consciousness. Sorry about that word, karmi. So, it's just like our own mind and desires. And so, what's the solution? Of course, the solution is sadhusanga, taking association with great devotees like Srila Prabhupada. So anyway, so I was thinking about this, and also I was thinking how to relate to all these pastimes where Srimati Radharani is experiencing this ecstasy, and I said, it's very hard. These are very exalted subject matters. I'm almost embarrassed to give classes on this particular part of the Bhagavatam. I can give classes on the Dhruva Maharaj story, Prahlad Maharaj story. To me, that's easy. You just go in. I don't even have to prepare myself for those things. It's just like Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, But when it comes down to these intimate things, so I was thinking, how can I relate to these things? And then I thought, well, I need some compassion and mercy. And so therefore I thought the only way I can relate to these things is by understanding Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so I started to look, read the Chaitanya Charitamrita. I've read it before, obviously. I'd read this particular section. And I wanted to understand. And what I came across were Srila Prabhupada's translations of this whole section of the Bhagavatam. It's actually Srila Prabhupada translated this whole, the Brahmara Gita himself. And that's in a purport of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And I was just reading this and hearing Prabhupada's translation, and it's very, very special. And then hearing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, let's say, entering into this particular mood of Krishna, of Radharani experiencing Krishna's separation and talking like a madman, and then I started to understand a little bit about what's going on. So really, if we want to understand these things, we must approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in addition, practically more important than starting the Sankirtan movement, he was experiencing the mood of Srimati Radharani. And his experiencing the mood of Srimati Radharani is to teach us, not only for his own purposes. We talk about esoteric and exoteric purposes, like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared for the exoteric purpose of starting the Sankirtan movement and esoteric purpose of understanding Radharani's love for him, seeing himself from her perspective, and enjoying from the perspective of a devotee. So, but still, Lord Chaitanya is doing that for his own purposes, shows us and allows us to enter into the world of Srimati Radharani and the gopis. So, with that brief introduction, it's already 7:05. Oh my God! I just want to read some of these translations. And anyway, this is from the 19th chapter of the Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, beginning with text 106. Actually, just 106, 107, and then there's some other texts. Adi Leela, chapter 19. Anyway. So the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are undoubtedly uncommon, especially his talking like a madman. Therefore, one who hears of these pastimes should not put forward mundane arguments. In other words, you can't understand these things with your brain, your material brain. He should simply hear the pastimes with full faith. Then Ansha 19:107, there's definitely an Ansha Leela. No, Ansha. That's where we have the exhibitions of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstasies. And, of course, 20 is the Shikshashika. The evidence of the truth of these talks is found in Srimad Bhagavatam. There, in the section of the 10th canto known as the Brahmara Gita, the Song of the Bumblebee, Srimati Radharani speaks insanely in ecstatic love for Krishna. And here Prabhupada explains this whole section and gives his own translations. When Uddhava arrived from Mathura carrying a message for the gopis began talking about Krishna and crying. Then Srimati Radharani saw a bumblebee and began speaking to it like someone mad, thinking that the bee was a messenger of Uddhava's or someone very dear to him and Krishna. The verses are as follows, and there's not enough time for me to read the Sanskrit again, but these are Prabhupada's translations, which are actually similar to the translations we're reading right now, but they're actually Prabhupada's translations, so I thought they'd be inspiring for us. My dear bumblebee, you are a very cunning friend of Uddhava and Krishna. You are very expert in touching people's feet, but I am not going to be misled by you. You appear to have sat on the breasts of one of Krishna's friends, for I see that you have kumkum dust on your mustache. Krishna is now engaged in flattering all his young girlfriends in Mathura. Therefore, now that he can be called a friend of the residents of Mathura, he does not need the help of the residents of Vrindavan. He has no reason to satisfy us gopis. Since you are a messenger of such a person as he, what is the use of your presence here? Certainly Krishna would be ashamed of your presence in this assembly. How has Krishna offended the gopis so they want to reject him from their minds? The answer is given as follows. So Prabhupada is just interspersing his comments here. Krishna no longer gives us the enchanting nectar of his lips. Instead, he now gives that nectar to the women of Mathura. Krishna directly attracts our minds, yet he resembles a bumblebee like you because he gives up the association of a beautiful flower and goes to a flower that is inferior. That is the way Krishna has treated us. I do not know why the goddess of fortune continues to serve his lotus feet instead of leaving them aside. Apparently, she believes in Krishna's false words. We gopis, however, are not unintelligent like Lakshmi. After hearing the bumblebee's sweet songs and recognizing that the bee was singing about Krishna for her satisfaction, the gopi replied, Dear bumblebee, Lord Krishna has no residence here, but we know him as Yadupati, the king of the Yadu dynasty. We know him very well, and therefore we are not interested in hearing any more songs about him. It would be better for you to go sing to those who are now very dear to Krishna. Those women of Mathura have now achieved the opportunity of being embraced by him. They are his beloveds now, and therefore he has relieved the burning in their breasts. If you go there and sing your songs to those fortunate women, they will be pleased and they will honor you. Then, O collector of honey, Krishna must be very sorry not to see us gopis. Surely he is afflicted by the memories of our pastimes. Therefore he has sent you as a messenger to satisfy us. Do not speak to us. All the women of the three worlds, where death is inevitable, the heavenly, middle, and lower planets are very easily available to Krishna. This is the same verse we read today. Because his curved eyebrows are so attractive, but it's a little bit more elaborate. Moreover, he is always faithfully served very faithfully by the goddess of fortune. In comparison with her, we are most insignificant. Indeed, we are nothing. Yet although he is very cunning, Krishna is also very charitable. You may inform him that he is praised for his kindness to unfortunate persons. So it's a little bit different translation. And I think it really brings out the emotions. It's Prabhupada anyway. You may inform him that he is praised for his kindness to unfortunate persons, and that he is therefore known as Uttama Shloka, one who is praised by chosen words and verses. You are buzzing at my feet just to be forgiven for your past offenses. Kindly go away from my feet. I know that Mukunda has taught you to speak very sweet, flattering words like this and act as his messenger. These are certainly clever tricks, my dear Bumblebee, but I can understand them. This is Krishna's offense. Do not tell Krishna what I have said, although I know that you are very envious. We gopis have given up our husbands, our sons, and all of our religious principles that promise better births, and now we have no business other than serving Krishna. Yet Krishna, by controlling his mind, has easily forgotten us. Therefore, don't speak of him anymore. Let us forget our relationship with him. And so there's a little, I'm not going to continue reading this, but so then there's this verse from the Bhagavad Gita, not Bhagavad Gita, from the Bhagavatam. Topics about Krishna are so powerful, this is Lord Chaitanya speaking, that they destroy the four regulated religious principles: religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. Anyone who drinks even a small drop of Krishna Katha through oral reception is freed from all material attachment and envy. Like a bird with no means of subsistence, such a person becomes a mendicant and lives by begging. So this is Chaitanya Church. Ordinary household affairs become miserable for him, and without attachment, he suddenly gives up everything, although such renunciation is quite suitable. Oh, this is still Radharani's. I'm sorry, this is still Radharani in the Bhagavatam. Because I am a woman, I am unable to adopt it. So, anyway, so let's see. I wanted to get ahead to, oh yeah. So here's more statements by Lord Chaitanya. He for whom I have left everything is personally killing me with his own hands. Krishna has no fear. This is further on in 1951 in Anjalila. Krishna has no fear of killing women. Indeed, I am dying for him, but he does not even turn back to look at me. Within a moment, he has broken off all of our loving affairs. This is Lord Chaitanya again. Yet why should I be angry with Krishna? It is the fault of my own misfortune. The fruit of my sinful activities have ripened, and therefore Krishna, who has always been dependent on my love, is now indifferent. This means that my misfortune is very strong. So, in this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lamented in the mood of separation. Alas, alas, O Krishna, where have you gone? Feeling in his heart the ecstatic emotions of the gopis, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu agonized in their words, saying, O Govinda, O Damodar, O Madhava. Pretty ecstatic, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. I mean, that's the only way I could begin to understand anything is by approaching Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Without Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda's mercy, Heno Nitai Binebai Radhakrishna Hoite Nai, right? Without Lord Nityananda's mercy and becoming free from all these anarthas that are plaguing me, all of us, then we can never really enter any of this understanding. Okay, on that happy note, all glory is to His divine grace. Srila Prabhupada.
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvantam Aravindanalayataptam Varhavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarantam Kandar Agom Vidamaniya Vishesha Shobha
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Angani Yasa Sakalem Kriya Priti Manti Vasyanti Panti Kayanti Giram Naganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Jai Ho Radhe Jai Krishna Jaya Vrindavan Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohan Shayama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govanda Kalinejam Muna Jaya Jaya Mahavan Nija Casey가 밤지 와차 도와사거나 Jakasaba Lila Koela Sinanda Nanda Shinanda Yashoda Jaya Jaya Gopalan Shilamare Jaya Jaya Denuvat Sanga Jaya Preshapanu Jaya Kirtina Sunagare Jaya Purna Masi Jaya Vira Nukare Jaya Jaya Gopi Shada Vrindavan Maja Jaya Jaya Krishna Saka Batu Dvi Jaragas Jaya Krishna Saka Batu Dvi Jaya Rama Data Jaya Rohini Nanda Jaya Jaya Vrindavana Vasi Jata Javan Jaya Trishapatni Jaya Nagakanya Kagan Bhattite Jakara Poina Govinda Charan Rasa Mandala Jayo Jayo Radha Shyam. Jaya Jaya Rasa Leela Sarvaman Navaram. Jaya Jaya Sarva Rasa Sarva Jaya Rasa Sarva Rasa Sarva Parakiva Bhavya Prachate Prachagar. She Jana Vada Padma Koreas Maranda Dina Krishna Dasakoe Namasankirtan Krishna Dasakoe Sankirtan Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan. Radha Golokanana Radha Golokanana Radhe Jaya Radha Golokanana Radha Golokanana Radhe Radhe Jaya Ragune Jaya Radhe 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 Jaya Sri Radhe Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravatikacharya also Teta Satashi Shimad His Divine Grace Abhaya Chandana the Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Govardhan ki jai. Naturadam ki jai. Jagannathan ki jai. Manamai ki jai. Srimati Lasadevi ki jai. Samved Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. Gaur Premanand. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru Gauranga Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Sai Budale Srimad Swamat Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravan Jani Nivasesas Pasyata Devi. Translation. All glories to Radha Krishna and the divine forest of Vrindavan. All glories to the three presiding deities of Vrindavan, Shri Govinda, Gopinath, and Madan Mohan. All glories to Shamakund, Radhakund, Govardhan Hill, and the Yamuna River, Kalindi. All glories to the great forest known as Mahavan. All glories to Keshigat, the Vamshivat tree, and the 12 forests of Braja. At these places, the son of Nanda, Shri Krishna, performed all of his pastimes. All glories to Krishna's divine father and mother, Nanda and Yashoda. All glories to the cowherd boys headed by Sridham. All glories to the cows and calves of Braja. All glories to Radha's divine father and mother, Rishabhanu and the beautiful Kirtida. All glories to Purnamasi, the mother of Sandipani Muni. All glories to the young cowherds of Braj. All glories to Gopishwara Shiva, who resides in Vrindavan in order to protect the holy Dham. All glories to Krishna's funny Brahmin friend Madhu Mangal. All glories to Ramagat, where Lord Balaram performed his rasa dance. All glories to Lord Balaram, the son of Rohini. All glories to all the residents of Vrindavan. All glories to the wives of the proud Vedic Brahmanas. All glories to the wives of the Kaliya serpent. Through pure devotion they all obtain the lotus feet of Lord Govinda. All glories to the place where the rasa dance of Shri Krishna was performed. All glories to Radha and Shyam. All glories to the divine rasa dance, which is the most beautiful of all Lord Krishna's pastimes. All glories to the mellow of conjugal love, which is the most excellent of all rasas, and is propagated in Braj by Shri Krishna in the form of the divine Padakiya Bhav. Remembering the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda's consort, Sri Janava Devi, this very fallen, lowly servant of Krishna, sings the Sankirtan of the holy name. Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Anandam Gurivardhanam Prabhupadam Pranamadas Padanam